what I would like to actually say is being part of many businesses, many brands. It was always a dream to actually have my own brand, and it's been there for quite some time. However, waiting for the right situation was something which I was always aiming for. But we didn't realize that we will land in the middle of pandemic and launch our kitchen. So my journey has always been with offline sales in the media space, and then with online for the last 5 years. So having an experience with online and offline, I thought, why don't we actually use all those experience for my own brand? Jogging my brain, thinking about it, like how am I going to take it forward? Because there were times that I've nudged even Loknath sir to figure it out that where the journey needs to actually start. A lot of introspection happened, a lot of thought went to, and one of the things what we saw was uh, cloud kitchen has been always there at the back of my mind because cooking was a passion for me and my husband put together, and it was a passion to a different level altogether that we de-stress in the kitchen. So it was like how much ever we are tired from office, the first thing we feel was like to go and cook a good meal and treat ourselves. So pandemic gave again a good opportunity to think about it. Like a lot of home chefs came up, we also started our home kitchen. What are the things we actually did? The two most important thing coming from a marketing space was understanding the customer psyche. Which area do we stay? What is it that they are craving for? And how can we suffice their craves? That was one thing. And the second thing what we looked at was what is the competition offering? Now, when I say competition, I wasn't even sure that whether a pizza maker will be my competition, a burger guy, or a Mughlai biryani guy, or a Chinese guy. So when we looked at these two aspects, we realized that what was missing in this colony was a good biryani and a Mughlai place. People were always going back to Behroo's, which was obnoxiously expensive and yet not very, I would say, delightful meal that they are getting. Thought about it that, okay, now we sorted off with saying that we will do biryani. अब बिरयानी तो सब कोई करता है, ऐसा क्या है अलग? हम मटके में करें या हम हांडी में करें या कैसे करें was the another big question which was coming up in our mind. We spent good 3 months just scribbling and writing and understanding कि हम ऐसा क्या लेके आएंगे which is going to set us apart from everyone. And that journey was not easy because that journey was so difficult because you have big brands around you. You have brands who are offering in matkas, who have your biryani by kilo, who is giving kasbas, a lot of these brands. So thinking more about it, one of the things we thought was, why don't we create a flavor? And we started working on creating a new flavor. So there was no cut, copy, paste. We started building because we were, both of us were such passionate cooks. We came together and we said, let's build a flavor. So I would definitely give a lot of credit to my husband, Tarun, who is the chef, who's a senior chef with Damdar. And he created this new flavor called as charcoal tandoori biryani, which has a flavor of tandoori and charcoal. So that helped us. So what I want to say is uniqueness and quality is one of the most important thing of when we build a brand. because it stands on the uniqueness. That's the differentiation, because biryani bahut hai. There are so many suppliers of biryani, but the differentiation has to come up in such a way that the person whom you're offering the biryani and who's tasting should also get that kick saying, wow. So we got the differentiation in the product. Now, how are we going to start in the market? The hygiene says, yes, we need to be on Zomato and Swiggy. But Zomato and Swiggy, unfortunately, takes in a lot of percentage. So we decided to use the skill set, which was there in-house, and also upgrade my skill set, working very closely with Loknath sir to understand how can we actually optimize our existing opportunities that we have and build it to a next level. So we had a bunch of 20 customers. We tried to actually reach out to them, make them feel happy and important, and we built our business from there. So that's where we started building our business. Once we got a database of 100, it was time that we knew that we are not free anymore. We are busy. Our kitchen is fairly busy. I started getting onto the journey of learning more, which is moving from organic to the paid ads of Facebook. I just did 2 bursts of Facebook. And trust me, it was not easy, but it was neither difficult, because I was in the kitchen and I was also scrubbing the leads coming in. I still remember Loknath sir calling me up and saying, "Aapne scrub kiya, aapne unko follow up kiya," and I got a wedding from that during the busy season, and I got 2 such unique customer who has become my loyal customers, and I don't know how many people more has added to that list. So it has become a network for me. So now it's got into the autopilot mode of कि वो bookings आती ही है. So 2 things very important. One was business plan in place. The other was marketing plan in place. When these 2 things come together, I am very confident success is there. Yes, it does take time. Every business has their time for operational break even. And we did a great job in 4 months to even reach to a level that the kitchen was taking care of their own expenses with a salary payout of close to 85,000 just to my employees. So it was taking care of the food cost, the utility cost, everything. So coming back to the third very important thing is maintaining our numbers. And what is the number that we are focusing on? Very important. Being an entrepreneurship journey, getting onto it is easy, but making sure that when we embark this journey, we need to have clear indication of what are the numbers we are going to achieve. Month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5. So your short-term plan should be aligned to your long-term plan. Unfortunately, keeping pandemic aside, because that is like, we really don't know where it's heading to. But yes, every business needs to have a short-term and a long-term plan. And we need to make sure that the plan is made in such a way that it's customer-centric, it's quality. So we need to use the best of the quality. Because when we deliver quality, you put a smile to your customer's face. And when we put a smile to the customer's face, what we get in return is a great feedback and a testimonial. That is what I'm going to come to now. Every small business, we need to start getting testimonials, because every testimonial help us build a next level of your earnings. So testimonials, when it goes out, people get, it's the voice of the customer which is going out. People really feel convinced about the brand. I grew completely with testimonials. We have been operational for hardly, I would say, uh, 4.5 months from a commercial kitchen when I started taking testimonials. It's a learning which came in. I've been operational for the last 1 year, but my commercial kitchen was for the last 4 months when we got a proper brand, 4 to 5 months when we got a proper brand in place. And the learning is get testimonials, get your on your Facebook page, make sure that you are using the testimonials through WhatsApp. Send it to everybody because the voice of the customer is the best advocate for your brand. People start trusting you. The second thing is always have engagement with your converted customers because there is plethora of products available in the market. If today you all are selling a clothing rack, tomorrow you will see on Facebook somebody else is reaching out. But why would somebody come to an ex-seller is because there is a continuous engagement that you are giving. And there is that engagement is helping you build that trust. So now we have social media. We should build on engagements. Now, engagements can be through different ways. Social media page is one of the, Facebook page is one of the way that we can build engagements. Recently, there's a Facebook page which I saw, and I was superly thrilled about it. So what that guy shows is how to repair a dripping tap. So he literally shows, and it's just an engagement. He's not earning anything out of it. But what he's doing is he's just telling you how to repair that. On the other hand, that same guy, because he's an e-commerce seller, he keeps using different ways of building engagement. What he's sending is, how do we actually take care of these plants? How do we churn the soil? What are the equipments required? And the best part is, after he built those engagement and that interaction, after almost, I think 2 or 3 days, I see him coming up with farming equipments. So there was a journey that he actually worked on. He worked on the entire thing, and then he is showing farming equipments. I bought it from him. So I bought equipments because he really showed how well it can be used. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shown. I wouldn't have used them. So it's very important that we build those engagement with our customer. The other thing is, when we try selling, especially this is for e-commerce products, we need to see what is trending in the market with the season. And also, Sir will definitely tell you all how to work on those things. Also build organic as well as paid at the same time. And to build organic, I'm sure Sir would have come across and told you all how to get the product shoots done, how to work on descriptions. Very, very, even when I was doing course with Sir, I was like, yaar, itna karna padega, nahi hoga yaar mere se. But then I realized that even if it's an organic ad, the moment I have a good product shoot with a clear, good video going on, especially with less scripts on it, less cluttered, getting the message in the right way, I have got better conversions. And that is so convincing that I said that, no, I need to really work on my product shoots and the descriptions. So these are the few important things that I could think of from where we started off and where we are at the moment. So we are going to start our storefront very soon. We have already finalized, so it should be started as soon as a little settling of pandemic we see by next month. So that's it from me at the moment. If you all have any questions, feel free to ask.
पवन जी कुछ क्वेश्चन आपका?
No, sir. I have been following this long time. I know how she has come up at this point with very hard work. And the best part is that she went on her own without relying on anybody. Like she was mentioning Zomato and Swiggy. So since those rates were high, she decided to go on her own. So this is where sir, you can improve by that self confidence that is very important for any project or any assignment to be completed. So that's all I can say about PG.
Thank you, Pavanji. It's a pleasure to hear that. The other things also within the food business, what I've seen, and also at a lot of places where people love to communicate. ये मैंने देखा है जब आप उनको majority of the people I would see when they are calling you up for any kind of products, it's not that we should just stick to that particular product. Like people call me for biryani, and right now it's reached a situation that any of my employees speak to them, they end up selling only biryani. So I always say that when somebody is asking for biryani, expose them to your other products also. Because the moment you do these club deals, they feel very nice about it and they feel that it's value for money. So customization, India mein sabko bahut pasand hai. And I know that unfortunately with e-commerce, we cannot do too much of customization because production is not yours. But at the same time, people love to get offers.
So ma'am, how did you manage recruitment in your kitchen?
Okay, now recruitment for my kitchen was done through some through Facebook. I would say majority of it was done through Facebook. I didn't even use the paid ad. I just did the organic way of doing it. So except the Mori and the helper, the chefs came in through Facebook. The Mori and the helper, that was references which actually helped me out. Anyway, open. It's just that we are open at a very small scale. The live kitchen is not there. We are still on pre-orders. The moment now when we go back to the live kitchen, we definitely need better staff. So we are trying to actually get our people back immediately so that we can actually kickstart the live kitchen.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So and the food menu, how you designed? You are not from the food background. How did you design the menu?
Okay, and so that definitely went in a lot of time. So engineering a menu is, I would say it has art and science both put together. It is not about how the look and feel of the menu is. It's also about your inventory management, your, I would say your waste management, your everything. It comes under like how are you going to manage the masalas and everything is also coming in, because you cannot have a very vast menu and one masala cannot be used for other. Aisa nahi kar sakte, because unfortunately cloud kitchens or any kitchen for that matter has that science to it. So when I started off, what I did was I went on to Zomato. I picked up all menu possible in around Delhi, Karol Bagh, Nizamuddin, sab jagah, because I tried to figure out ki meri jo Mughlai ka hub kahan hai. So when I picked up those hubs, I took the menu from there. And then we figured it out that how are these guys working on their menu? So having that kind of menu, we need to be really trained to a different level. So what we then figured it out, what we know how to cook. And what is it that we can actually put it under a bracket? So we started bucketing them. Okay, within the rasa or the curries, what we call, what is it that we can do with a white gravy and a red gravy only? So we try to actually read and understand that. We did a lot of reading also along with that. I would say we are thankful to the internet that a lot of reading happened during that time. So when we managed to bucket them, it was easier for us to see that, okay, these are the things we'll put it under pre-order, like a matka chicken or a matka mutton or those ahuna chicken we did. And then we did something like a matka biryani. All of those things, we put it under the pre-order. What we did was a butter chicken, a kadhai chicken, a chicken changezi, all of it means the base masala is the same. So when we picked up those base masalas, we know, okay, this is something that we can do in like 20 minutes time. Because we were still gearing up for Zomato and Swiggy, even though we were not in Zomato, Swiggy, but we were gearing up for that. So we tried to actually work on our menu in a way that it's not that it's foolproof. I would say it was a learning what we got from the first menu list, what we had. And now that we are coming up with a new menu, that seems, as per us, we seem that, okay, it's a doable, it's a much sharpened and a very smart list which has come out. Because food cost needs to be, sorry, sir.
No, continue.
Because the food cost is something that we should be mindful about. Food as a business, when the food cost is very high, the business is not viable. And the food cost can only come down if you have the art of running the kitchen. And that art, luckily, yes, we did some courses, we learned from there, we built a community. So we are part of a cloud kitchen community. So we learned from there. We actually started talking to like-minded people, seeing a lot of kitchens, how those stuff, what are the protocols of even keeping a meat in the freezer. These things have to be learned. So we learned it as we went. Yes, today we say that, okay, now we know that, okay, how many freezers are required, how many fridges are required, all of those equipments and stuff like that. Yes, sir.
What is your experience? How did you get your first order? That must be a very exciting experience.
Oh,
When the kitchen was there.
yes, absolutely, sir. My first order was 30 biryanis overnight. And it so happened that we were testing our degi biryani. We didn't even do a charcoal biryani. We did a degi biryani, which was made out of prunes and apricots. And I reached out with just a basic ad. But yes, it was I still remember it was a pretty looking ad. And which said that, okay, biryani for 200 rupees. And we went out. I guess it was pandemic. That was one of the things which supported us. And the second thing was, somewhere down the line, people were bored of eating what they are eating. They wanted something new. So the moment they saw us highlighting as a home chef, clean environment, the way it was cooked, and we also rolled out I would say a video there, how we are cooking it. So I clicked few pictures, I made it a video, and I rolled out that video. Immediately, within a span of, I think, 2 to 3 hours, we had close to 28 to 30 orders. It was for the first time when we got 30 orders, 30 packets of biryani, we were overwhelmed. And it was a task also. That's also one of the learnings I keep telling people, that we need to not get over ambitious when we are doing the first few orders. We should go slow, because it helps us build base very strongly. Thankfully, we went good with those biryanis. It had its own challenges. It was a lot of chaos. There was no commercial kitchen, doing from a home gas. 30 biryanis means close to 3.5 kgs of rice. It was a lot.
And before getting fast order, you were sharing free, or what you were doing? You are sharing free or what?
So yes, before getting our first order, there were few things. What I did was we had a tasters WhatsApp group. So I picked up people. It was a very conscious decision what I did, and I learned it over a period of time that we need spokesperson for any business. We need brand ambassadors. Now I cannot go and sign in huge celebrities. So what we did was, because we needed brand ambassadors, we picked up people not only from the colony estate, but from different buildings. So we gave them tasters of, so we created three WhatsApp group, 8 people in each group. And we gave them biryani not once, we gave them thrice. And the reason we gave them thrice was because it was the learning which was coming in. And also we wanted to check on the consistency of taste. So when we gave these biryanis to them, what happened was, somewhere down the line, they built that trust that these guys are serious people. They really want to get it right. And I was very clear with them that I will send you a list of questionnaire. Please fill in and send it back. And I would say that out of all of them, hardly one or two didn't give me back, but rest everybody used to fill in that questionnaire and send it back. And that helped us to build our portioning right. Because पहले हम लोग chicken ज़्यादा दे रहे थे, rice कम था, rice ज़्यादा दे रहे थे, then we did the gravies. So there was a lot of learning which came in.